What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bulls Script, and we're here to recap another overtime loss because why the hell not? Just because it makes all the sense in the world. Before we do that, be sure to go on TapSportsNet.com for all the Chicago sports, literature, and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnet. Following Goose at Bulls Scripted, and me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcast, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, please go to the YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel On Tap Sportsnet, hit the little bell anytime we go live. You will be notified. Hop into the comment section with all of our awesome friends that come in after every single game, whether it's a win or a loss. We are, of course, presented by Sports Illustrated. One quick ad read for you. Kind of like two, but we're going to do the one first. If you are looking for a gift for your significant other or friend or family member that loves the Chicago Bulls or any Chicago sports team, go to foco.com, Forever Collectibles. They sent me this cool little Benny the Bull reindeer. It's a little bobblehead guy. So you go over there and you can get one of these. And they're really, really cool if you like bobbleheads because I collect bobbleheads because I'm 12. So go to foco.com, get yourself anything sports memorabilia related. They have awesome little hoodies over there. They have like remember Snuggies, Goose? Those little blankets with you put your arms
reverse robes.
Yeah. They've got those with your team's logo all over it. So when we watch overtime losses, we could be decked out in Bulls gear and just wrap ourselves up in our blankie and go to sleep crying. It's fantastic. How are you?
You even got a little hood right there.
Yeah.
Catch the tears. Yeah, no, that's
you wear it backwards so the fucking tears fall into you. Yeah, that's fantastic. Also, quick shout out real quick to Goose Island. They sent Goose and I a care package. When they released Bull City 312, the new beer that they released, they came to us before they released the beer for a press release opportunity. Told us not to say anything about it. They would tell us when to release it. I got to write an article about it, and I got to bring it up here on the show when they released it, which was really cool. So they, in their gratitude for us doing that, and I don't even know why, but I was just proud to do it in general. But they sent us a Bull City 312 cooler, both of us, and 4 beers and 2 Iota Sumu jerseys. So it's really awesome. I would like to thank Goose Island. Hope to work with them again in the future.
Wait. So you now have 2 number 12 jerseys.
I've got Kirk and I've got Io DeSumo, yes. But the Kirk one is signed. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to get Io DeSumo signed. But I'm not a big autograph guy. I've never really been. But when Kirk Heinrich was there, and I thought there'd be a huge line for him, and it turns out there was no one there.
Yeah, because you're the only fangirl for Kirk.
No,
you're not. You're not.
No, I'm not. There's at least 4.
A lot of other fangirls. Most of them are actually girls. But
Kirk's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking dude. I mean, hey, if he told me he was into it, I might consider it. Anyway, so here we go. Bulls lose.
Might let him give you the one too.
We're going off the fucking rails. The show hasn't even started. Bulls lose 128-120 in overtime. That sucked pretty bad. Whole game from start to finish was absolutely fucking miserable. I don't care what anybody says. I did not have fun. The whole time I did not have fun. I was more irritated than anything. How are you doing about it?
I'm not doing very well. First we start the game with Woj rubbing some salt in the wounds and how Lonzo's probably not going to play basketball all year, as if we haven't already accepted this and just said that we don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, let's stop bringing it up. We know. Unless the report is Lonzo Ball no longer has pain in his knee, I don't want to hear anything about Lonzo Ball. He's not playing this year. We don't even know if he's going to play next year. I'm not counting on anything Lonzo Ball. But unfortunately, when it comes to this game, my barometer of whether or not you should buy or sell at the deadline tends to come to whether you are better than the Knicks. The answer as of tonight, no, you are not better than the Knicks. You should probably just call it quits. Like, continuity is not happening.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the continuity because I just thought that was really funny. So we get by funny, I mean I wanted to fucking take a toaster bath and play Frogger on I-80 over there. So with that being said, the Lonzo reports, whatever, it's the same fucking report every single time.
Over and over again.
Over and over again. I don't want to hear about it anymore. This sucks. If it's not a positive report, leave it alone. The guy's still experiencing pain in his knee. I don't need to hear anything until he's ready to come back, which I have now fully convinced myself it's not this year. It's not, because they're not going to be competitive enough to even want to rush him back or bring him back. Do they want him back? Is he cooked? Can he even come back? I'm done with that. But there's another report that I saw today, and I'm not sure, this guy tweets a lot. I'm not going to throw his name out there, but he has a lot of Chicago scoops, if you will. And there was a report that came out that said, if AKME has been fielding phone calls, if people have called to ask for trades, they have told people they don't want to move on from anybody because they feel when they get healthy, they can make the playoffs. And if that's true, my fucking God, have we gotten bamboozled? I'm serious. What are they seeing that I'm not? And again, there's a reason I don't work in the NBA, and I'm a guy who talks about it in my basement. But like, this is what?
I think for him to even say that statement, he's got to have a pretty good poker face. He's pulling a leverage card. You're calling. You see the shit on the fan. You see the shit on the walls. It's everywhere right now. Everybody's probably calling, going, "Hey, how cheap can I get DeMar DeRozan? Hey,
I give you an Oreo for him.
Hey, Zach LaVine doesn't look like himself. You selling low? You selling low? So no, I mean, at this point, we've covered it every year. It doesn't matter. You don't know if you're a buyer or a seller until there's 2 hours left on the fucking trade deadline clock. It's just the way this league works. And I wish it wouldn't, because I feel, one, it would make things more exciting. The reason why a lot of fans like ourselves love the NBA more than we love any other league is the excitement, the drama.
There's a ton of it. Yeah.
The amount of trades and stuff that you can actually somewhat expect out of the NBA that you can't really expect these high drama moves in all the other sports. It's more exciting. So you'd like to see it start to happen sooner. You'd like to see teams try to change their trajectory, which the Bulls kind of need to do. And you can make an argument for either side.
Right.
Whether that's to add more, make some changes to make the continuity work, or just say, well, Lonzo Ball's not coming back. He was our only, source of continuity within this group, and that is not on this timeline anymore.
This timeline's shot.
This timeline is.
It's absolutely shot. I mean, you look, Vooch is a free agent at the end of the year. His fit here has arguably been not the best it could have been. I mean, he's been good, and I know people like to use him as a scapegoat. But even tonight, I watched tonight and how they established him and how he really did get going. He played pretty well for the most part. Didn't play bad at all. And then they fucking get away from him. And this is what kills me. I can go through the whole game. I can break down the first quarter, how sloppy they looked, even the first half in general. Just sloppy. Nonsense. You have Zach LaVine struggling in the first half. You have DeMar DeRozan struggling in the second half. You have Vooch doing some things. Kobe White comes and gives you some good off of the bench. And then you get into the second half. You start making a comeback a little bit. Vooch is doing all right. Now Zach is hitting some shots. Not a lot of them, but he's hitting some shots. Then you have DeMar DeRozan completely turning around, and he's hitting some shots. And then you get into overtime. And the free flow offense from your defense that brought you back, you completely abandon. And you go to the hero ball, ISO ball bullshit. I can't handle it, dude. I can't fucking handle it anymore. If that's how they're going to play, I'm sorry, that's a Billy Donovan issue too. It's a Billy Donovan.
No, I mean, if you're the head coach of this team, it's your job to, one, give them options that aren't that, and two, stop that if that continues to happen, which now without Lonzo Ball, it's all we really see when it gets down to crunch time is your turn, my turn, and sometimes we'll incorporate Vooch and let him get a little love in there. But it really is not the same game that you watch the rest of the way. And I guess maybe that's how it's supposed to be for most teams. And when it was working with DeMar, it made sense. But he's not getting the same calls that he was getting last year.
Calls and even the open shots, and he's not hitting. I mean,
he's not hitting the same amount of shots, and he's not getting the amount of calls that he was being granted last year. And that has a lot to do with the Bulls standing. They, as a team, are not doing well. They're not winning games. Referees don't feel inclined to give them the call. So last year, when you're winning and you're consistent, all right, no, I'll give you that one. Well, we're not getting that this year. And not to scapegoat Vooch, but before we could even get the show started or get any words out of our mouth, our buddy Michael here was letting us know that we were out rebounded 49-31. And obviously that's not a Vooch problem. That's a team problem.
Oh, 100%.
But when you see a team like the Knicks approach the game with Julius Randle, who does a lot of the things that we applaud Vooch for when he's given the opportunity to do them, and then you have a Mitchell Robinson, who probably outpriced himself with the contract that he received for the Bulls this offseason. But you see those guys playing together, and you kind of go, well, we still don't have that rim protector, and we don't have the luxury of being able to play Vooch and Drummond together because neither of them are rim protectors, and neither of them are really versatile enough on the perimeter to do that.
Oh, a big thing too is if you're gonna lose the 3-point battle and get doubled up in that, because the Knicks hit 18, we hit 9. You got to try to do
shooting team of the league,
right, and you got to try to do something here to compensate for that. Fight for the loose balls, go up and get these rebounds, and they didn't. I mean, they got smacked around. I'm not really sure as I'm watching this. I'm not really sure how they got back into the game in general.
I think they were shooting like 70% in the second half.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. They like in the fourth quarter at one point they were like 7 for 10 from the field. Like they were hitting their shots, they were getting to the line. DeRozan went 16 for 17 from the field. You know, that's how they did it. But I felt like the Knicks just kind of took their foot off the gas there for a minute. And I'm not going to say that they're like some great team, but they're better than us. And the way that they play for and with each other. I didn't see much fucking hero ball. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle have an understanding of each other. You get that.
And RJ Barrett had fouled out of the game. He was in overtime and they kicked our ass.
Yeah, that too. I mean, and Grimes came up huge too. We got to bring him up. He came up absolutely massive. He hit a ton of threes in that second half. He hit a couple or two of them in overtime, or one of them in overtime.
I know the one bounced sky high in the air and fell right in.
It was in overtime. It was brutal. You know, I saw a lot of praise for Pat on the Twitter machine for his defense. Good. Thank you for doing your job. You know, good job, man.
But a lot of that was also Caruso. Pat was getting switched on to Brunson, and Randall was just working in the paint.
Oh, yeah, Caruso was the team worst tonight, minus 15, and you do not see that in the box score ever.
And I wouldn't even agree with that. It doesn't fit the narrative. We're gonna take that off of the live broadcast. You didn't hear that. Alex Caruso was not negative. He's never been a negative in his life. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
I mean, I'll read a couple stat lines. Zach played 41 minutes, 11 for 23 from the field, 2 for 8 from downtown. He only got to the free throw line once because he just takes jump shots now. That's what Zach does. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He only turned the ball over 2 times. Good for him there. DeMar DeRozan, 8 for 18 from the field in 40 minutes. He missed both of his 3-point shots, one being an air ball. 16 for 17 from the free throw line, 32 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks for DeMarvelous DeRozan. Vooch, 9 for 16, 41 minutes, 19 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 2 blocks, only 1 turnover. Other notable stat line, Kobe White off the bench in 28 minutes tonight, did play well. He's the only player on the team outside of Javante who only played 10 minutes. That was plus in the plus minus. Kobe White was 12 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. Again, there are some moments there for Pat. The big block on Julius Randle. He did some things. He played some decent defense. I'm not going to sit here and hate on him and call any of this his fault. But this team does not play within a flow of offense when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. And if Lonzo Ball was really the one who unlocked all of that, I mean, that's just fucking mental in itself to me that one guy unlocked all of that, especially not a star, a good player, but not a star.
It's how crazy the game of basketball is, though, when there's only 5 guys that contribute on the court on your own team at a time. and really 8 or 9 that truly matter in a rotation when you get down to the nitty-gritty,
Yeah.
one guy can really mean that much, especially when he does the two things that this team just can't do, and that is defend the perimeter, which is stop opposing teams from hitting threes, and hit threes. Like, we do not have any shooting. And Lonzo putting up 8 a game and shooting over 40% covered up a lot of that.
It really did. It's funny how that masked a lot of problems. And I was blind as fuck to it because of the impact they had in the first half of last year, how just smooth they were. It's not easy being a team in the top 10 of offensive and defensive efficiency. It's not easy to do that in the
How
NBA.
we've played, somehow we've managed to be a top 10 defense still. So that's,
well, right, and to your point, right? That's true. That's very true.
Which
I don't really understand it, but
I don't understand it either. I don't know. I'm really doubting math at this point in time. But you know, the Bulls have been in that top 10 the majority of the year. It's our offense that has kind of been lackluster.
Oh, it's absolutely stagnant. And I just look for adjustments within the offense, and I look at the vets that are on this team to be like, this is what we need to do to really get it going. Because, I mean, even the first – if you go back and watch the first play of the game for the Bulls, what do? They kick it into the paint to Vooch, and they all fucking stand there. And I'm like, what? He's got Mitchell Robinson on him. Then you got people bitching at Vooch in overtime because he got, you know, he went up for that, like, layup against Mitchell Robinson. It's like one-on-one. No one's moving. The fuck do you want him to do? Like,
you know, sorry, the whole team isn't converging on me like we do on Julius Randle and the other. I have nobody to spray the ball to. You're all just standing there.
Right. It's absolutely, it's infuriating, man. I mean, you know, that we had a lot of fun last year with this team. And like I've said in the last couple episodes, I don't really see where you go from here. If Lonzo's done and the continuity and the health is out the window.
That their plan has just got blown so far to hell that they don't know what to do.
Oh, like, I'm sure, but they got to figure it out. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Well, no, that's why you make millions of dollars to make phone calls.
Right. You know, I make phone calls. I make a fucking penny. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous out here, man. It's hard out here. But it's just, you know, like I'm sitting here, and the thing that I enjoy, this is hard too. This sucks. Like, I don't know what to fucking do here. I mean,
for fans, this is the worst spot in the world.
When
you're intentionally being bad, like we got to talk about together for several years, at least when you lose the game, regardless of the fashion, you can spin it into, we went to Tankathon. Things are looking great.
Yeah, Tankathon looked great. Or Lowry played pretty good tonight. You know, he showed some promise. Zach had some explosion, looked pretty good. Denzel Valentine sucks, but hey.
And the 4-year rookie contract put up over 20 points, and we lost. That's what we need to see. That's progress, baby. Yeah. We don't have any of that right now.
No, it's really bad.
It is like being the most try-hard person in the world and sucking at everything. Like, we went all in. This was the best we had to put around Zach LaVine with what we could trade for, and it isn't close to good enough. We got a glimpse.
The wrong guy too.
We got a glimpse.
I told you from the beginning, and we have recordings. I didn't know. I didn't want to lose him for nothing because that sucks. Just to watch a player leave for nothing. This injury. Listen, knee injuries are no joke. I don't know if he returns to the Zach that plays above the rim all the time. Is he even going to be able to if it keeps bothering him?
Okay, but I think that's always kind of been the misconception with Zach, though, too, is that because of those dunk championships, what he can do when there's nobody on the court with his athleticism, he's never really been outside of a fast break. He's always been more elusive when he drives the hole. He's never been that.
With a high percentage at the rim. At the end of 2020 and the first half of 2021.
But even in there, he never really got to the free throw line as much.
Zach's I always chalk that up to him not being the guy. You know.
But that's because of his approach to the hole. He's great at being elusive. That reverse that he had tonight, he made that look so casual.
That's true.
Probably less than 3% of the league that could do that as effortlessly as he did. But once again, elusiveness, not all out. I can fly, and I'm going to fly over you.
Oh, well, I'm not asking him to fucking MJ anybody. I'm just asking him to take higher percentage shots and be smart.
I
If
mean,
the jump
Stacey-
shot's not working, you got to do something else because you know why? You're a max player.
So,
And you
but-
have the athleticism to get to the rim. You know, I mean, you got to do something.
But for him, there's no incentive there because he's never gotten a whistle.
The fucking game is the incentive.
I get the game is the incentive, but 9 times out of 10 when Zach goes to the hole, we're giving up a defensive possession because he's complaining. Like, I got fouled. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he did that tonight. And Stacey bitched at him. Stacey, get back on defense. You know, you heard Stacey. And then I swear to God, do you know why, Stacey, every time you say it's a simple game when Vooch gets the ball, why they kind of were getting away from it a little bit? I didn't want them to get away from it as much as they did, but Mitchell Robinson has the ability and the talent to be an all-defensive player in the NBA. Mitchell Robinson, that's why he starts, is because when you go into the paint, Mitchell Robinson is going to fuck you up. That's what happens. So it can't be a simple game all the time and telling the people just give the ball to Vooch. Maybe if Vooch gets the ball and he can establish himself like he did tonight, maybe his teammates should move without the fucking thing so they can open up more shots.
Well, no, and that's the thing. It's one thing when you're playing the Celtics and Vooch's matchup is Al Horford, and they have to throw, have to throw a double at him in the post. It's not how it works when you have a rim protector like Mitchell Robinson. He can handle Vooch one-on-one. You're not pulling extra people in that situation. You're not doing what they did to us all night and forcing the switch on Caruso, and we're watching a 6'5" guy try to guard Julius Randle until he buries him deep enough into the paint that the rest of the team is all jumping in at the same time going, okay, let's get our hands up, and then, three-pointer. Well, fuck me. You mean you put 4 guys on the one guy, and you can't let the 6'5" guy guard the all-NBA caliber power forward? What? Like, I feel so bad for Alex Caruso. Like, all people that probably want this team to get blown up, he's probably like, send me to a contender where I don't have to guard every 6'9" plus motherfucker, please. Please get me out of here. This is taking years off of my career.
Because I love Caruso, man.
I don't care how much they paid me up front. I'm losing years. Somebody get me out of here. Like, this poor guy.
It's every night. It's every game.
Well, and now it's, Alex, can you go play point guard too? Not only can you defend Julius Randle for us, but can you be Lonzo Ball? Could you do that? Could you do it?
I don't think so, but he's trying his best. It's definitely brutal, man. They see him again on Friday night. They see the Knicks again on Friday night. It was again, close game. Absolutely smoked in overtime. Jalen Brunson had more points in the Bulls in overtime. Bulls had 3 points in overtime.
I don't want to talk about Jalen Brunson.
Man,
I really don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
He's a beast.
I loved him in Nova. I loved him in college. I thought he'd be a good NBA player. Joked about the Knicks paid him what they paid him. And now the joke's on me because Jalen Brunson dropped 30 on the Bulls tonight, and it hurt.
Came home and he dropped 30.
Yeah. It didn't feel good. And why does that happen all the time?
Because God hates me. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
We trade somebody away, they destroy us. They're from Chicago, really they come home, they kill us.
You know what's funny about the bench for them too? Their bench plays pretty well together. But what's funny to me, Cam Reddish, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier didn't get in the game because they're out of the rotation. That's a decent fucking end of the bench right there.
Okay, so given our point guard situation, Derrick Rose and Cam Reddish, what do the Bulls have to trade to get both of them? Oh, no, never mind. We went over this last show. We don't even have enough for Cam Reddish.
No,
I'm trying to get Derrick Rose too.
Can I interest you in Marko Simonovic and
Tony Bradley?
Tony Bradley, and a free beer at the United Center and your next visit.
Hey, I mean, that is like $11 worth.
No shit. You see what I'm saying? These guys aren't even fucking playing. So $11, you're making out there. You're making out a little bit.
That's tough.
Because like you went on your rant last time, it's not like you can just fucking throw picks at it. They're gone.
They're gone. And why would you do that?
Like, fucking who cares anymore? I don't know what the fuck they do. They honestly.
Oh, true. I mean, is this a Garpax situation? Not that I'm saying that the front office should be fired. I think they should get the opportunity to clean up their own mess.
I think so. They made us competitive. They made us competitive. All right, they did.
But are they coming into this with the feeling that, oh, we got this for, at least a decade? Like, we got 10 years before they're going to get rid of us. We're good.
It's Jerry Reinsdorf and Michael Ryan. Well, I don't know. Michael, I've heard, is cutthroat. But I think Jerry is pickled like Keith Richards. He'll probably live till he's a 7,000 probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jerry is that guy. But he's so loyal. Look what I'm dealing with on the South Side right now. They're not fucking doing anything. You have a petition on fucking Twitter right now to donate money to buy a billboard asking Jerry to sell the team. You know why? Because he didn't fire anybody.
We're back to the billboards?
He didn't fire anybody. So, I mean, again, I'm not asking for AK. That's not what we're doing here. We're just laughing. They have a job for life. Okay?
Okay.
But I am not ready to do that because I'll tell you something right now. They did make us competitive right away, and they brought a lot of buzz around the team.
No. Their saying was what? Make the Bulls cool again? We were the coolest team in the fucking league for 35 games last year, baby.
Yeah, we were, man. We were
the coolest team in the league for 35 games.
I was walking around talking DEFCON 5 shit, too. I was just talking. I mean, even being at the games, drinking beer, there'd be opposing fans there. I'm talking. I mean, all in fun, but I'm talking shit. My Bulls are back. You know what I mean? Fucking, it's great out here. We're hitting threes. We're winning.
But I really don't know what the pivot from this is.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of people that want to blow it up. You have a lot of people that don't want to blow it up. I'm really trying to pick a middle lane of where I really want to be, what I think is the best choice, and what I think, and what I keep getting drawn more towards. Even though we're going to lose on the return, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing this and just suffer, and then you're not going to get your pick anyway because it's fucking top 4 protected, and if these guys are good enough to not get you there.
So we've talked about trading Vooch and Tamar. We haven't talked about solely trading Zach.
I don't care. I really don't.
Plus, I know you don't care. We went through your top 5 favorite players on the current team, and Zach LaVine didn't fit on your fucking hand.
That was like in the beginning of the season, and you looked at me like I was nuts. I just don't. Goose, I told you, I get why.
You get why Joe Kylie busts his balls all day?
That's why I've never been mad at Joe about it. I get it.
No, that's the issue with Joe's shtick is he picks something that's at least a little bit factually true, and he just takes the knife and he just digs that sucker in there.
And it's not that I don't like Zach. I think Zach is a very talented NBA player. I've said that. I think he's good. It's just when you sell me on
You just don't like when he's shooting 2 for 8 from the floor and still jacking up from
fucking
behind the 3-point line, and
he's not 1A.
Time with the game tied.
He's not 1A, and I understand that the NBA doesn't work like that anymore. I get it. It's not like it was in the early 2000s.
Right, you're not debating his contract. You understand that that's simply the cost of business.
I understand. He's just not the guy. That's not the guy. And it's pretty fucking apparent. Because even after his max contract, who's the one getting the ball in the overtimes in the fourth quarters to close the fucking games out?
Tamar. Do you think
and how many more times am I going to have to bring up a knee injury as stopping Zach from getting the ball? There's a reason Billy doesn't draw the shit up for him. Whatever happens, dude. I really don't.
So are you saying, is that where you're leaning? Build from the middle? Let DeMar and Vooch do their thing and see what you get from Zach?
Nah, I'd ship all of them. I don't want to be good enough. I don't want to be good enough to lose out on my fucking pick. Because if I don't see a real possibility, listen, they said that they wanted to build off of last year. Building off of last year is what we distinguished in the first episode of our pre-season episode, which was win a playoff series. It doesn't even look like we're going to get back to the fucking playoffs.
Okay.
So what is the point?
I keep hearing Zach rumored with the Knicks. What does it take from the Knicks? They send RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Derrick Rose, enough salary filler and picks. Are you down with that?
See, I'm not a big RJ Barrett guy either.
Well, if you're starting,
if they're going to attach picks to it, okay. I
don't even know if they do that.
I don't know if they do it either.
That's the problem.
100%. Like I again, if you pick a lane, like the way I look at this is you have Vooch, who's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. And there's no extension. No extension was ever talked about. They didn't come to fucking terms. It's not happening. You got DeMar DeRozan, who's a free agent at the end of next year, another year older. You've got Pat Williams, who you might want to pay. I don't even fucking know what you're going to pay him. I give him maybe $8 million a year. I don't give a fuck what anybody
You're
says.
giving him Felicio money?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The cap's up there. The cap is up there. It's not like Felicio money. Inflation, my boy. Inflation. All right? But I don't know.
What Pat getting Felicio money?
Is there a fucking player on this team that makes sense to do anything with or around right now? And I mean, again, how long do you wait for Zach? It's a fucking knee issue that's been chronic. What do you do? What do you do? Do you take the risk of just maybe it'll work out in your middle of the pack?
The chronic knee issue, he was an all-star twice, and then he had a scope this offseason, and it just
like I said, man, I like DeMar a lot. I like Vooch. I like Zach. I think they're good players. I think it was real fun. I'm not waving a white flag yet, but I'm really looking at this and I'm just saying, like, I don't see them getting any better because you haven't seen consistent improvement.
Well, and when you keep losing like this, the vibe in the locker room ain't getting better.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. And I mean, again, the fan base is down. The vibe in the locker room, I'm sure, is down. And then you go and you watch film. People could throw their cleaning the glass stats up. Oh, well, if they do this more and this guy gets to the rim and this is a great play call, Billy needs to do this. Don't you fucking think they do that? Don't
you think they pay stats guys? That's right. Literally actually their job, several hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars a year.
There's no fucking fit here. It's not working. Something's not working. And that's because the guy that's supposed to run the shit isn't working. And to Chai Sports fans' point in our comment section, even with Lonzo Ball here, yes. Does the team look better? Yes. They're not going to win a championship. And that's where I'm at right now.
Well, I did have to double check before I said anything, so I didn't want to make an ass of myself.
No,
DeMar at least does not have a player option next year. It is fully guaranteed. There's a team option, no player option. That man is locked in for next year, whether that's for this team or another team, which I guess is the benefit to overpaying for somebody who is somehow still overplaying that overpaid contract, because that deal really does hold value with that extra year for a team like Lakers. You give LeBron the pipe dream hope. For any other team that's genuinely contending, you at least have that control for another year. You're not just getting a rental,
right? That's a very good point too, because I mean there's value in that.
You have a chance to form some continuity.
Motherfucker. I can't believe you'd say that like that. What the hell's the matter with you? I don't even know what to respond to that with. All right. Again, they play the Knicks on Friday. They play Minnesota on Sunday. And Goose, this is kind of fucked up here because they're at home for both the Knicks games. And then they go on the road for 4 consecutive games against Minnesota, against Miami, against Atlanta, and then against New York again.
And then we're home for 4.
Yes. So they better figure it out.
No, you pointed out on the last show that we have had the toughest schedule to this point.
Yeah.
Supposed to have one of
it's going to start evening out where we're going to start going into the middle of the pack type schedule here. So, but we got to get there first. You know, we're still playing playoff caliber teams. These next 4 fucking games are against playoff caliber teams. You know, I mean, better teams than us.
There's not many teams on the schedule that I feel like are a surefire win at this.
No, I don't even fucking think us against Houston's a surefire win.
No. Indiana going into the season would have been a team that I expected to be a surefire win. I think they beat Golden State tonight. They were at least beating Golden State.
They were beating the shit out of them last I looked. They won 125 to 119. So Golden State made a bit of a comeback there. It appears, but
no, there are a lot of teams that coming into the season, if you would have asked me if I had the Bulls ahead of them or not, would have been a surefire yes. And I see them on the schedule now, and I don't have confidence going into that game at all.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty brutal. It's been a hard season so far, and I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. I don't have much else because we're up and down through this episode. We're more sad than happy, I think, but I don't have much else. You got anything before we get out of here, man?
No, I guess just that we will be here to cry with you for the full season.
Oh yeah, we're not
what
going.
we do.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
This is what we do. This is a very deranged marriage.
We're Chicago sports fans. This is what we do.
For better or worse, we will be here.
Yeah, this. I didn't think this was gonna happen. Like, it's fucking brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal. Everybody, thank you for hopping in the comments section. You had it popping once again tonight, like you guys always do. I really appreciate it. Again, if you need a gift for a loved one, a friend, family member, whatever, go to foco.com and get an awesome Benny the Bull bobblehead dressed as a reindeer like this guy. Also, check out that Goose Ireland Bull City 312. Check that out. It's really good beer, and they got really cool merch over there, too. Be sure you're going on tapsportsnet.com, which is powered by Sports Illustrated. We'll be back on Friday night after the Bulls take on the New York Knicks again. And for the love of God, please win. Let's go Bulls.